Being in nature lifts your mood, builds your confidence.
I think it will be a great help to people. It will give people an opportunity.
You give a space to people, a safe space.
It can be called social farming. I actually prefer the term care farming myself, because that's what we're doing, we're caring for people. You know, they might be coming from quite a stressful background or whatever, and they come in here and they're treated with respect. Just working with the plants and the animals and see them grow because of their caring and all that, it's hugely beneficial.
The greatest teacher is life and being curious. Always staying open and curious about life. That's where the wanting is, and that's where the learning is.
Putting your hands into the earth and feeling the earth. We have an innate need in us to be in nature.
I really believe in people. You know, that's, you know, when I see the transformation that takes place, when a learner comes in even on a program here, they physically change. And to be able to do that is a gift, really.
There is food here now, isn't it?
Put them in the middle there, and then we'll take them over. Lovely now if you roast them with a bit of garlic, rosemary and a bit of olive oil. It's kind of a sweet spot, you know.
You're looking like you're enjoying it.
Oh yes, it's therapeutic.
The key piece of how we work as frontline workers in the SICAP programme is we don't go out into a community or a social enterprise or an individual and sit down and say, now we're going to do goal X, action Y with you here today. The end user perhaps doesn't feel that they're part of an action or a goal.
Oh my God, it's so big.
There was a need for a service to I suppose, address isolation and loneliness in the East Limerick and North Cork region. The decision was made to set up Ballyhoura Rural Services, addressing the loneliness and isolation among the older community in the area.
We prescribe the outcomes of the goal or the action as we feel fit based upon our experience.
We discovered then, as time went by, that isolation was affecting younger people especially. Young people who, I suppose, hadn't found their niche in life, and they had withdrawn. They weren't communicating with people. They didn't have any social contacts.
So a decision was made that we should research how we would get a project that would, I suppose, address these needs. And I suppose a group of us came up with the idea of actually setting up a social farm, because that was one of the strengths in the board and among the staff was that a lot of people were from a farming background, and we were very aware of the benefits of being in nature and being on a farm and working with animals.
The SICAP frontline worker would have had the experience maybe in their head, well, what they need to do now is, and they need to do that piece of mentoring, or they need to talk to this other social enterprise to support them to grow.
The first thing we did was we organised a feasibility study. I suppose parallel to that then we did a number of study trips to social farms in Ireland, and we also visited farms and study trips in the Netherlands and the UK.
Particularly in the area of social enterprise, it's a topic that can sometimes put off potential participants. So that's where the training and the mentoring are key. So it's the softening of the enterprise piece, the softening of the language, and it's the supporting of the building capacity piece.
As we'd finished our investigations and our research, the Mercy Sisters made us aware that this farm and this beautiful property was available. And I suppose seeing what the opportunities were for grants to develop the farm through the Rural Development Programme, through the Community Services Programme and that, a decision was made that we would go ahead by our board.
As frontline SICAP workers, we would have supported the social farm, identifying the funding sources and supporting the social farm in filling out those grant applications, or maybe promoting their product or service to end users.
So Declan, what are you doing?
I'm actually collecting eggs to sell, and they're pretty good size, really nice eggs, organic, roaming around Doon, so pretty good eggs, and everyone loves them, so good eggs.
Sometimes the challenge is getting the social enterprise to think like a business for one element, because I always like the piece that it's okay for to make a profit. So there has to be a product or there has to be a service, and that has to generate income in order for all the other pieces for to be supported around.
If we had an expectation that the farm the produce of the farm would pay all the expenses, we were well and truly learned that maybe if we could cover 10 to 15% of the expenses, that actually we'd have to, I suppose, for want of better language, be able to provide services and charge for them on the farm.
Well, we've put out a hive. It's a CDP.
One of the key supports that the SICAP enables us for to deliver is training and mentoring. Traditionally, when communities or social enterprises or a combination of both would meet for a piece of training, yes, there was the topic that was being delivered and there was the objectives that would have, but then there was the peer learning. I mean, groups learned from each other and social enterprises learned from each other. For example, the Urban Co-op, which is a social enterprise in Limerick which sells food products and that. The social farm in Doon is now selling its products in another social enterprise, and it's getting involved in all those other networks, and it's learning and it's growing. So that came about as a result of shared learning, meeting, connecting, getting involved in networks that arose out of that, all of that supported by the SICAP programme.
So, Carmen, you've never touched the chicken before.
No.
Feel how soft its feathers are there. Just feel.
Oh my God, he's so tall.
Aren't they? Would you like to hold it?
Would you fly?
He will, if you don't like a baby. Yeah?
Like this?
Yeah.
I've never held a chicken before. Oh my God, he's so soft.
One of the overall goals of the SICAP programme is to support individuals. Employment, training, capacity building, maybe supports around mental health supports, any of those.
I'm taking down the eggs now to be measured and cleaned and boxed.
What was that song you were singing there earlier?
To
Go on. We had some chicken.
The farm started out, it had a local training initiative, and I suppose within Ballyhoura we would have referred individuals that we had engagements with through the SICAP programme towards the local training initiative. We would have also directed people maybe towards roles within the Rural Services Social Farm that they could take up employment.
When I started here, I had no knowledge really, layman's knowledge, if you like, of what it is to grow crops and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, you kind of just have to go with the flow a little bit, you have to, every day is kind of, I wouldn't say every day is learning day, but definitely you do learn stuff, regularly as you go along, and you take advice from people that know.
we used to never do that. No, we used to go straight into the pot after we collect them.
That's done now, number 2.
That's done, is it? Perfect. Yeah. Would you show them how to do number 4 there?
What we've learnt, we've learnt a good bit, you know what I mean? All of us have learnt a good bit over here, and things we wouldn't learn in town, you know what I mean? It was an opportunity just to prove to people that they're not a dot so that they can do stuff, you know what I mean? And they're putting together albums for us there, and certificates, something that we can look back on. Yeah. And when all my kids are back, I can show them, look, I done this, I done that, you know what I mean?
Opportunity. Give some of the young kids that are, not kids like 15, 16-year-olds maybe can't get a job or whatever, give them, give some kind of a chance to them, because there's nothing there for them.
Oh look, the proper
We can all struggle at times, and I suppose the SICAP programme is instrumental in finding solutions as to how we deal with those struggles. Sometimes we just need to slow down. Sometimes we just need to spend time with ourselves. sometimes spending too much time with ourselves is bad and we need to reconnect with others. And through the various training, mentoring, supports that are delivered through the SciCap program, individuals grow and they start to identify skill sets that they never realised that they had. And on the other side, with the social enterprise, the services offered by the social farm enable individuals to slow down, to spend time testing, maybe growing vegetables or spending time with the animals, or just reconnecting with people again, working with somebody on a task.
Yeah, well done you.
It has been a huge learning experience for us that we started off with one interpretation of isolation, and suddenly we found it is a much wider and broader topic, and isolation has tentacles that probably go way beyond what we could ever have imagined.
I'm in my Gary house 8 years, and this is great for me, like, to get out, you know what I mean? I mean, since the COVID, like, there's no, we can't visit no one, can't go nowhere, locked in, you might as well be above the jail getting 3 square meals a day.
It's a pity that the hours went longer, you know what I mean? The hours are too short, 2 hours, like, it's a lot flies by in 2 hours. We were third week done already, so we've only 3 left. So that'll be it then, for us. Back to the scratch.
You want to be getting out all the, do you know, I mean, when you're out and so quiet, things just leave your head.
You know, it doesn't really matter if we get to plant all the things we set out to plant. Really what's important is that a person grows in confidence, they have a nice experience here, they feel, you know, maybe a slight sense of challenge, but also in a safe environment. And then in that, give the opportunity for growth. Not just the growth in the physical sense of all the animals and the growing on the farm itself, but it's the personal development and the growth opportunities for people that we're interested really. The farm is a vehicle for this. That's the primary purpose, for, you know, people to come here, have a good experience and grow and go on and develop in society.
A social enterprise that was supported through the SciCap program is now supporting SciCap clients. A sketch became a photograph, and sometimes they're very different, and that's a great experience because it's seen how this social enterprise has touched the lives of so many and has the potential for to touch so many more lives.
Well, I tell you, I'm a heavy drinker, as that man there will tell you. I drink a lot. And coming out here, I forget about it. And whatever's in the head coming out, once I get out of that van and step in here, so it's just gone. It's vanishes. So I go home with a clear head. You know, I'm relaxing for the day. That's it. And drink doesn't enter my mind or nothing. So everything is grand.
I mean, like, hopefully I'll come back out. Sometimes they might leave us back out when they get more animals, you know. There's a chicken now after laying an egg, listen to her. You know?
From the hens, from the happy hens factory in this farm.